Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So as you read on the title, today I am filming a tag. It's been a while since I don't film one. I believe my last tag here on my channel was the get to know me tag or the new YouTuber tag, if I'm not mistaken. I read the title and I read the questions about this one, and I said what time, like it couldn't be a better time to film this video because I, like me myself, I am a newlywed, so I decided to go ahead and answer the questions for you guys. So let's get started with the first question. So the name of the tag, as you read, it's the happily married YouTube tag. Okay, so the first question is, did you date much before you met your husband? No. I was 16 going on 17. We were high school lovers, so we were super young. I did talk to boys like in school or I don't even know, like Messenger or something, but I didn't date much before meeting him. I guess he's like he was my first and last serious relationship. So I guess the answer to this question is a no. I didn't date. Did online dating exist and would you have used it? Yeah, obviously it did exist. I'm only 24 and I was 16 when I met him, and I guess that, I don't know, it's kind of scary to use online dating. There's so many perverts out there that I think I wouldn't use it. I think I prefer to meet the guy in person, not online. I think it's just a little weird for me, so I guess no, I wouldn't have not used the online dating websites. The third question reads, where did you think is a great place to meet a guy? Wow, that's a difficult question. I was talking to my coworkers last week. I was talking about this, like the same topic. I was saying that, like, what if I was single right now? Like, if I was single right now, I don't know, it would be so difficult to find a good guy out there. I mean, that's the truth. I would say that, I don't know, like, you have to be careful even in church. I know that sounds kind of sad, but it's the truth. There's a lot of weird people everywhere. So I guess church or work, I don't even know. I mean, definitely not a nightclub or a bar. So I guess, I don't know, church. What qualities would you tell a single lady to look for? To tell single ladies to look for. Okay, so I guess that the qualities that I looked before meeting my husband was a guy that had a set goals. I wanted a guy who had goals in life. I mean, I'm not saying that I wanted a guy that had all his life planned until he was 100, because that's impossible, but someone that had goals. For example, I was in high school, so I wanted a guy that wanted to go to college and have a degree. That's just an example if you're younger. And if you're already old, for me, it's very important to have a relationship with God. I think that's the most important thing, the most important quality. Also, I would look for a guy that is family oriented, that talks to his siblings, talk to his parents, no matter where they are. But most important, that has a relationship with God. That's really important for me, and yeah, those are the qualities that I would recommend. What dating advice would you give to your daughter? Ooh. So I wrote it down because I tend to forget. So I wrote here, I'll tell her to be patient. Obviously not to date a guy just because of their physique. I think that's just stupid. I mean, obviously you have to be attracted, but not just only because of that. Someone, as I said before, someone who has God as a center in their life and has goals, like established goals. As I said before, it doesn't have to be until like they're 100 or 80 years old, but at least some goals in life, you know? How did you meet and how old were you? So as I said before, I met my husband when I was 16 going on 17. It was back in 2009. We were in 11th grade, I believe, and yeah, I was 16. And what was the question? See, I always get distracted. How did you meet and how were you? How old were you? Okay, so I was 16 going to 17. We had a couple of friends in common. One of my friends, who was in high school with him because we were in different schools, she invited me for there was like an activity in church, like goofy games, and that's when I saw him for the first time. So yeah, back in 2009, we were 16 going on 17, and yeah. Did you play hard to get? I mean, no, technically no, but it was already hard to get because we were in different high schools, so it was a little bit difficult to see each other. So I don't know what my answer would be for this question. I don't think so. It was just a little complicated to date and see each other like for the first years when we started dating. Did you know he was the right one right away? Did he know? Okay, so I really don't believe in the right one, like the right person. I would say that obviously no. Obviously we were 16, so no. I think it's impossible to, no matter how old you are, to meet a person and right at that second know he's the right one or she's the right one. I think that's just impossible. I don't believe in that at all. I believe that if you get to know the person and you have things in common or similar goals in life and similar like interest, I guess that's when you I don't know, like when you start getting to know the person, you're gonna know if he's the right one. But I don't believe in love at first sight. I mean, that's just impossible. You can't just love someone without knowing them. What qualities did your husband love about you when you first started dating? So I asked my husband to answer this question, and he said he's super simple. So here he goes. He said that he loved that I loved God, and I was a sweet, caring, fun, and lovable person. That's his answer. I think it's so adorable. I love him so much. Did you have a timeline for marriage in your mind before you got married? Yes, it's kind of funny because before meeting my husband, I always said that I wanted to get married when I was 23. Like when I turned 23, I wanted to get married, and I did. I got married when I was 23. So that's kind of funny. I also wanted to get married when one of us at least had a college degree, because obviously it's kind of hard if you don't have a degree, or if both of us were like having a part-time, you know what I mean? So my goals were to get married when I was 23 and to be with, like, because I had a college degree, like have a college degree and get married. And I did. It's funny because it happened. And I always like that was my thinking before meeting my husband. But it happened anyways, so that's kind of cool. Did you have to nudge your husband toward marriage, or did it happen on its own? No, this is a funny question, just because if you're my friend or if you're like a family member, you already know the answer to this question. And yes, at first when I met him, obviously we were so young, and we were 5 years. Before getting married, we were dating for 5 years or 6 years, 5 years. So it's a lot. At first, the first 2 years, obviously, we were starting college and like in high school. So obviously, no, I didn't want to get married by then. But as the years went by, I think it was like my third year of college. That's when I was like, okay, I want to get married now. But obviously my husband, he's a wise man, and he said no, because obviously we are both the same age. We were both in college. We only had part-time jobs, so it was impossible. I mean, nothing is impossible, but it was going to be difficult. So we decided, well, he knew he wanted to wait until graduating college. So I guess that I kind of not pressured him, but I was always like bugging him that I wanted to get married. So yeah, it's just funny because I kind of did, but at the same time, like, he's a wise man, so he said no, like we have to get, at least one of us have a good job where we can live out of that, you know? How did your parents influence the kind of marriage you wanted? Okay, so I love my parents. I love their marriage. They inspire me to have the same marriage as they have. They have been married for 28 or 29 years. Yeah, I mean, they influenced me in a good way. They never pressured me, or they never like told me this or told me that. They just inspired me by their relationship. So yeah, I want to have what they have, and I kind of do, obviously. I just got married, but yeah, they influenced me in a beautiful way, in a great way, and definitely I want to be like them. What did you love most about your wedding? So what did I love most about my wedding? I guess that I had all my family members together. I had a couple of friends. It was kind of difficult because I wanted to have more people in the wedding, but we have a large family, both sides were a lot of people, just like close family. I wanted to invite more people, obviously, but we paid for our wedding, so it was kind of hard because we were getting married and moving to another country at the same time. So obviously we didn't want to invest a lot in the wedding, which is kind of impossible because you always end up paying a lot for the wedding. So I don't know. I mean, obviously having my friends and my family together, I love that. I wish I could have more people, like invited more people to our wedding, but it was just a little hard because we paid for it. We just recently graduated college. We were moving to another country. So yeah, I don't know. I guess my answer to that would be like, I loved having all my family together. What elements of your wedding didn't matter as much as you thought they would be? Okay. I guess music. At first, I was kind of sad because I wanted to have a live band playing, but obviously, as I said, it was impossible. We had a budget. We wanted to stick to that budget, and since we were moving and all of that, so we only had a DJ, which was super fun. I guess that would be my answer. Like, at the end of the day, it didn't really matter. Like, we had fun. It was the same thing as having a live band. So, is the first year of marriage really the hardest? Okay, so I want to get this out there because a lot of people always give you, how do you say that? Not comments, always tell you things when you don't really are asking for any advice. So I don't know. It's not the hardest for real. It's not the hardest at all. People always used to tell me that it's difficult the first year because you're leaving with the person 24 hours, 365 days a year. They're always there. But for me, obviously it was different. I was with my partner for 5 years before we got married. I don't know, like I could be with him 24 hours and it really doesn't matter. We've been together for like 7 or 8 years already. 7 years. We've been together for 7 years in total, and I could be with him 24 hours and it doesn't matter. Like I don't believe in that. I don't believe in having like the first year being the hardest. I don't think that's true. Also, everybody's different. So don't listen to any like comments or any unwanted advice if you're getting married. Just live your life, talk to your husband, talk to your partner, talk to your boyfriend, like have good communication. That's the key for a successful marriage, having excellent communication. It's not always beautiful and perfect, but it's definitely not been the hardest at all. I think it's been the best year ever. I think it was very difficult for me before being married. It was way more difficult than what it is right now. So yeah, it's definitely not the hardest at all. For me, it's been the best year of my life. The best year with him and everything. Like, I don't believe in that at all. What advice what? This is written incorrectly. Okay, so what advice would you give newlywed couples? So I am a newlywed because I've only been married for a year and a half. I've been with my partner, my husband, for like a million years, but my advice would be, don't rush into things. Don't rush into buying a lot of stuff just because you think you need everything or you need certain things. Take your time. Communicate with them. I think that's the most important thing in life. Communication, it's important. It's the key to success, I'm telling you. So that would be my advice for any newlywed couple. Don't rush into things. Talk to your partner and have great communication. That's the key. That's the key, I'm telling you. Communication. Last question is, if you're a religious person, how has your faith influenced your marriage? Okay, first of all, I don't consider myself a religious person. I love God. I have a relationship with God, but I don't consider myself a religious person. That's just not who I am. It definitely has influenced my marriage in a positive way, in a beautiful way. I don't see myself being married and not having a relationship with God, or having our marriage, not having our marriage as God as centered. Like, I wouldn't be who I am without Him. You find comfort, you find happiness, you find peace, you find everything in God. You can just rest in God and everything's gonna be okay. I mean, not everything is gonna be perfect, because obviously we live in this world which is super chaotic. Sorry if I'm butchering the word. But yeah, it has definitely influenced my marriage in a positive way. I don't regret that at all. You're always gonna have problems. You're always gonna have like different scenarios or situations in your life. But having God as the centered, it's way more easier. I'm telling you, it's way more easier. It sucks. Life without Him sucks by far. Have God as the center of your marriage. Talk to Him. Have a relationship with Him. I think it's very important. That's my advice to you. I've been with my husband for 7 years. It hasn't been perfect at all. It's been a blessing. It's been an adventure. I love it. I don't regret anything. But please have a relationship with Him. It's the best. I mean, don't you just want someone to take all your worries and all your situations and all your anxiety? Just give it to Him, and it's gonna be better. I'm telling you, it's gonna be better, because I'm just talking from my experience, and trust me, I would not have a successful life or marriage or like relationship if I haven't had this relationship with Him. It's not easy, but it's the best decision I've ever made in my entire life, and I recommend you guys doing it because it's really the best. So I'm so excited about this. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for staying until the end. Thank you for watching my videos, and I'll see you on my next one. I left all my social media down below. As usual, I'm always very active on my Instagram account, so go follow me there. And I'll see you on my next one. Bye, guys.
So baby, you know, I know, you know, I don't trust nobody.